Scary rooms you should never go inside. If you go to the Banff Springs Hotel in Canada and ask to stay in room 873, they will say that room does not exist, but the rooms before and after that number do exist. Room 873 was sealed up for good and the door was removed. This was after a guest took the life of his family and himself inside the room. After this happened, they renovated the room, but anyone who stayed there would hear screams during the night. They really believed the room was haunted, so they sealed it up for good. This girl's bedroom in Mexico is scary. That's because it's apparently possessed by a doll. The girl was complaining her dolls would move around all by themselves, so her dad set up a camera, and this is what it recorded. The doll is moving around all by itself. Other cameras also caught papers moving around all by themselves. Scary videos caught on Uber dash cams. In 2018, an Uber driver was working in Northport, New York. His two female passengers were telling him where to go. That's when a car overtakes and blocks their path.
Oh my goodness, that was weird.
That was a little weird. Is that a cop?
I'm so confused.
This is.
A man then gets out of the car and runs towards the Uber.
What's going on? What's going on?
I don't know.
What is that? Just
not
go,
getting
just
out of
go,
the car.
go, just go.
The women are very scared and tell the driver to just go. Eventually, the Uber driver does speed off. It's likely this was either road rage or an attempted carjacking. An Uber driver is driving in Japan one night. That's when the car in front stops on a busy highway. The man then gets out of his car and stares the Uber driver down. I think this man is trying to intimidate the Uber driver for some reason. It's also weird how the guy is wearing leather gloves. Maybe he's been watching too many Sigma Grindset videos. In 2018, a female Uber driver is driving in Atascocita, Texas. That's when a car pulls up in front of hers. Within seconds, two men jump out of their vehicle and rob the woman.
Give me your money. I have any money!
The Uber driver had her dog with her the entire time, but thankfully the dog was okay. A week later, the two robbers, James Romine and Tyler Hurd, were caught and arrested thanks to this dashcam footage. Scariest things found in swamps. This is a swamp sinkhole. In 2020, two of these opened up at once at a swamp in Bomet County, Kenya. This was caused by limestone under the swamp cracking over time, creating two swirling sinkholes. If anyone had been swimming in this swamp, they would have been pulled underneath. But thankfully, no one was. In 2014, a cop was driving past Bear Creek Swamp in Alabama, USA. That's when he saw something very scary. In the swamp, there were many porcelain dolls on bamboo sticks. Police went to recover these and even asked online if anyone knew anything about this. But no one ever came forward and the case was closed. One day, people were walking by a swamp in Seney, France. That's when they saw these scary creatures in the swamp. At first, they thought they were real humans or even monsters, but it later turned out these were sculptures. They'd been created with wire, clay, and algae, and placed in many swamps all over France. Houses so scary they had to be demolished. The Enfield Poltergeist house is found in London, UK. In the 1970s, the Hodgson family moved in and began experiencing strange things. They would hear knocking sounds, screaming, and furniture would move around by itself. Also, one of the daughters named Janet was possessed by a man named Bill. In this BBC interview, she is seen speaking with a man's voice.
No.
Who's there?
Dr. A.
Records of the house were looked up and it was found a man named Bill used to live here. The Sally House is one of the most haunted houses in America. It's said many spirits haunt this house. The main ghost is named Sally. A former owner named Tony once saw Sally in the kitchen one night. He sketched what he saw and showed the child of a former owner. When the child saw the sketch, she said, "That was my imaginary friend when I was younger named Sally." Creepy facts about your body you're going to wish you didn't know. Ever felt your insides drop when you go down a roller coaster? Well, that's not just you feeling nervous. You're actually feeling your organs move inside your body. Outside of a human body, brains look quite solid, but brains inside a human skull are actually very soft. Their consistency is similar to that of melted butter. Have you ever noticed that old people seem to have very long ears? That's because your ears are the only body part that will never stop growing. Across your lifetime, you will spend an average of an entire year just sitting on the toilet. Every single year, your eyes make 30 gallons of tears. Everyone knows fingerprints are unique, but did you know your tongue print is also unique? So if you ever commit a crime, be careful not to lick anything. Scary dashcam videos part 2. A man is driving down a country road in Australia one night. That's when he sees a hooded man in the middle of the road. The driver moves around this man, but that's when the man screams at the driver. It's believed this man is a carjacker and wanted to take this man's car. One day in Russia, a trucker was driving down the road when he sees a swarm of locusts. There were over 200 million locusts in this swarm. In this video, a man is driving down the road when he sees a man in a suit. The guy looks like one of the men in black. The man then runs away to reveal 9 other men in black. You can then see another person in the distance lighting a flare. And then someone walks by in a very scary mask. Some say the mask is of a reindeer, while others say it's of a demon. Scary things seen live on TV news. One day a Russian news anchor is doing a normal report. But that's when behind her a gigantic glowing orb appears. The orb lights up the entire area and then fades away into the sky. Some said this could be a real-life angel, and others said it was a sign of alien life. A man is being interviewed at an airport, but pay close attention to the blonde woman behind him. Someone walks in front of her, and just like that, she disappears. This news reporter was talking about 3 bodies that had been found. That's when a car mysteriously drives behind him and stops.
A lot of questions to be answered here, Jake, but Jake, are you okay?
The car then accelerates, making a loud noise, scaring the news reporter. Many believe that the guy in the car was the person who'd committed the crimes. Scary things seen live on TV news, part 2. A weather reporter is talking about bad lightning. That's when, all of a sudden, a gigantic lightning strike occurs behind him. Thankfully he was fine, but this was a near miss. A few years ago, Obama was doing a speech, but that's when behind him a demon face appears to be seen in the White House window. Many thought this was a reflection, but it was later found the face was coming from inside the window. One day the Pope was doing a speech, but when he turned around to go back inside, he vanished. A news reporter is down in a storm drain. That's when she sees a very creepy looking man.
Are there other people that live down here with you?
Many believed this clip was real, but it turns out it's from a movie named VHS 94. Scary creatures caught on camera. One day a dad and his kids were in an apple orchard. That's when they saw this mysterious flying insect.
Oh my god!
Ugh.
The insect has arms and legs, kind of like a human. It makes a loud buzzing sound before flying off. Do you think this is an unidentified species, a humanoid, or just a hoax? In 2016, John Averon caught this very scary footage in a forest. It shows a large, lumbering creature with long arms and long legs. Some said it could be an ape or maybe a bear. Others said it could be a Sasquatch, or even Bigfoot. In 2013, Richard Maria began seeing strange things outside his house. He set up surveillance cameras and this is what he caught. Some kind of creature can be seen flying in the sky. Some have said this may be an angel. North Korea have their own radio station, and it's scary. The station is named Voice of Korea. It mainly plays propaganda messages and North Korean songs. But here's where it gets scary. The radio station also plays secret messages. These are for North Korean spies in other countries. It's actually a common practice that almost every country does. However, other countries use separate shortwave radio stations named number stations to do this. But North Korea just do this on their public radio station. They likely do this because most North Koreans don't even own a radio. The news anchor will say something that will only make sense to the North Korean spies.
2833호 전문을 보내드리겠습니다.
One common phrase is, "We give review work in metal engineering to number 29 expedition agents." To most people, this means absolutely nothing, but the North Korean spies will have a reference book, and each word in the sentence will have a different meaning. These cryptic codes allow North Korea to tell their spies in other countries what to do. It's creepy to think there's likely North Korean spies in your country listening to these messages right now. But what's even more creepy is, if you own a shortwave radio, you can tune in and listen to this live yourself. Videos with scary backstories. This image shows a group of women at a slumber party, but one of the women would not leave the slumber party alive. Tamla Horsford was mysteriously found in the backyard the following morning. She was not alive and was face down in the grass. The cops said she fell from a balcony and quickly closed the case. But an autopsy said her injuries were not consistent with a fall. Many believe that Tamla's life was taken on purpose. In 1995, Scott Amagier went on the Jenny Jones Show. On the show, Scott said he had a crush on his male friend Jonathan Schmidt. He was then brought on and Jenny said, "Guess what? Scott has a crush on you." Jonathan seemed uncomfortable but laughed it off. But later on, he took a shotgun and ended Scott's life. In the trial, he said he was very embarrassed about what happened on the show.